find ourselves in a unique situation at the University of Utah. We get to make cool content that showcases our beautiful university every single day. Thankfully, there are many ways we can go about doing that. Highlighting resource centers, interviewing students, talking to faculty and staff about their experience, the list goes on. However, knowing is half the battle. As a voice of our campus, we're responsible for telling that story in the best way possible, and a lot of that lies in what the viewer is actually seeing. Today, I'm going to give you some tips, tricks, and hints to spice up your university content and add an element of creativity to your film sessions. First, and I would say most importantly, is where am I filming? Luckily, there are plenty of amazing spaces to film on campus, such as the Marriott Library, by the Block U on Central Campus, anywhere in the Union Building, and many more. You can be creative with how you set up the shot to reflect more of what's going on in the video. Interviewing someone with the Feed You pantry? Ask to film on location, or get some shots of students interacting with the pantry. Your job is to tell the story of whatever it is you're filming. A good practice I personally follow is, can your video stand on its own without a voiceover or an interview? How much of your story is told just in the shot selection and location? Obviously, you have plenty of options, and thankfully, there are other elements that can help you tell your story, but that's a great place to start. When choosing a location, it's important to consider lighting and sound. Recording outdoors is a great way to showcase our beautiful campus, but recording too close to a street, tracks line, or on a windy day can negatively affect the audio you come away with. Planning your locations in advance and making sure you have appropriate equipment on hand can help you get over these environmental hurdles. What does appropriate equipment mean, you ask? That brings us to the next part, which is, what am I using to film? The good news is, camera technology is becoming more and more user-friendly every year. With innovations in phone camera technology and compatibility, it's possible to make great content using just some apps on your device. Whether it's a phone or dedicated DSLR camera, there are some cardinal aspects to your film that you should pay extra attention to and even invest in equipment. Making sure lighting is correct is important to your footage and is hard to fix in post-production. Using a light source for filming illuminates your subject and can be adjusted on the fly to make sure your subject looks their best. Ring lights are fairly cheap on Amazon and can do the trick for an interview with 1 or 2 people. The benefit of filming outside is the natural light that you can use to your advantage, but in a less controlled environment, you might run into some unwanted noise or other happenings on our busy campus.
Hey, we're shooting here.
I thought it was empty. Microphones are a great way to get professional audio out of your recordings. Microphones built into your phone or camera might work for casual content or live, story, or day of content, but if you're putting all of this work into setting up an interview, audio is a great boost to that production quality. There are several different options available depending on the available equipment, but also depending on the kind of shot you want to have. Do you want your subject to, say, hold a microphone? Well, consider a reporter mic and a dedicated recording device. Want them to have their hands free? Well, a lav mic or a boom mic set up off screen allows for that. Recording on a cell phone limits your audio options, but there are several affordable, mobile-compatible microphones you can invest in. I recommend a dedicated audio recorder. Although more expensive, it separates the audio recorder from the video, allowing you to get professional quality audio regardless of what you're using to get your video footage. If you're using your mobile device to record video, make sure it's being recorded at the highest quality possible. Methods vary by device, but make sure you're recording in as high quality, such as 4K or 1080p, and frame rate, such as 24, 30, or 60, as possible. This will give your video a much higher quality and give it that professional look. Third, and probably the toughest part of this process to learn is, how do I make the most of the person I'm filming? That's quite a question to answer. Being on camera can be a new experience for you or the person you're interviewing. The cool thing is, it's easy to get used to it. Focusing on the interview, the script, or whatever it is you're recording is a great way to forget the camera's even there, which will help get over those on-camera jitters. Script reading is one of the more challenging parts of recording. Oftentimes, the trouble comes from trying to remember too much, deliver the entire reading in one take, or in as few takes as possible. It can take years of practice to get that comfortable with reading a script, so don't be afraid to mess up, start over, redo a line, whatever the case may be. Line.
It's like 3 words, dude.
Having your script in hand or close by is imperative, so you know what you're saying and that you're saying it with the right tone and cadence. One thing I always try to do, especially with pre-written lines that need to be delivered in a specific way, is this. Get the script on a computer screen, tablet screen, whatever you can get, and increase the size of the text so that it's big enough to read from a distance. Place your reader in the frame and hold the screen just under the bottom of the lens, making sure not to make contact with the camera you've just set up. Then, scrolling with their reading, follow along as they read their lines. Keep skipping the line being read at the top of the screen. This allows your reader to get through lines, not have to memorize anything, and give the appearance of looking at the camera directly. While it's obviously important to say the right things in your script, how you say them is equally as important. Being comfortable on camera is definitely a skill that takes practice, but making your subject appear natural is easy to get used to. Speaking with good posture, using your hands and arms, incorporating movement in the shot, and speaking as though you're talking to a friend can really enhance the interview or script read and give life to your content. How you look on camera has a lot to do with your body and movement, but also has to do with what you or your subject is wearing. The outfits should reflect the tone and nature of what's being filmed, whether that's a suit, t-shirt and jeans, or some Utah branded apparel. Obviously, there are some parameters to stick between, nothing with obscenities, suggestive graphics or text, or any large non-Utah logos or slogans. You don't want to be the guy that wears the "I pooped today" shirt to his interview, which is unfortunately something we've seen before.
Hey guys, I'm ready to film.
Once you have your footage, it's up to you how you'd like to prepare it for publishing. Picking your favorite editing software can be a chore, but it's worth the research to find something you favor and can understand easily, because you'll be in that software for a while. For those just starting to make content, online editors like Canva and PicMonkey are great for rudimentary editing, and Adobe Express is a great, easy way to edit your video clips together. The Adobe Creative Cloud is a great asset, just like it is for our student body. Videos can vary widely in terms of scope, but having a dedicated intro and outro sequence will give your project a very professional look. Make sure to grab supplemental footage while you're getting your interview. B-roll is a great way to give life, character, and excitement to your video and break up your subject's appearances to engage the viewer through the entire video. You'll want to get plenty of footage of the setting you're filming, whether that's a center or a specific area on campus, but generic footage of student life, footage from recent events, or anything you might find relevant to your video is always a good idea. That is how you better supplement the interview to best tell the story. Other than that, the editing is up to you and your creative choices. YouTube is filled to the brim with tutorials on any edit you might want to make and is a great way to come up with new ideas to enhance your video. That should cover enough bases to get you started and to put you on the path to making amazing content for the University of Utah.